I never imagined a plane ticket could end an engagement. My name is Callum, 38, software analyst living in Boston, engaged to Eliza for nearly a year. We were solid, or at least I thought we were. We argued sometimes, sure, but nothing that felt fatal. Until she told me she was flying to New York for a long weekend with her guy best friend, Rowan. She said it casually, like she was mentioning a grocery run. No hesitation, no concern, just assumed I would be fine. Rowan had always been there, orbiting her life like a harmless moon. They met in grad school, shared inside jokes, playlists, history. I never liked it, but I tolerated it, because that's what reasonable men do, right? Trust. Be secure. Don't be controlling. When she said she'd booked the tickets, something tightened in my chest. I asked who else was going. She smiled and said, "Just us. It's cheaper that way." I didn't raise my voice. I asked, "Why New York?" She shrugged. "Broadway, museums, walking. You know, vibes." I knew the vibes. "Separate hotel rooms," she added, as if that sealed it. I nodded, because I was trying to be mature. That night I lay awake, listening to her breathe, wondering when I became optional. The next morning I made coffee. She kissed my cheek and said, "Don't be weird about this." I wasn't weird. I was quiet. Quiet because I was measuring the distance between us. She left Friday. I watched her Uber disappear, her suitcase wobbling behind her. That was when the silence started to talk. I replayed moments I'd ignored, the late replies, the way she lit up at Rowan's name, the nights she chose her phone over my arms. On Saturday, she posted photos. Rooftop bar, neon skyline. 2 drinks, 1 table. I wasn't tagged. People noticed. My sister texted, asking if everything was okay. I replied, "All good." That was a lie. Sunday night she called, cheerful, talking fast, like nothing had shifted. She said Rowan got them backstage passes. I asked if she missed me. She laughed. "It's only 3 days." That laugh did it. Not anger. Clarity. I realized I was auditioning for my own relationship. When she landed Monday, I didn't pick her up. She took a cab. Walked in, dropped her bag, started talking about a deli she loved. I asked her to sit. I said I needed honesty. She sighed, impatient. I asked if anything happened. She said, "Don't do this." I asked if she would be okay if I went away with a female friend. She said, "That's different." I asked how. She didn't answer. That was the answer. I told her I felt disrespected. She said I was insecure. I said I was done negotiating my boundaries. She stared, stunned. I removed my ring and placed it on the table. She asked if I was serious. I said yes. She said I was overreacting. I said she chose. She packed slowly, crying, saying I blindsided her. I stayed calm. I said love doesn't ask you to compete. She left that night. The apartment felt bigger, quieter. I slept without a knot in my chest. Friends called. Some said I was harsh, others said I was brave. Weeks passed. She texted, asking to talk. I replied, no. Not out of spite, out of self-respect. I didn't lose a fiance. I gained my footing. New York was just the excuse. The decision had been made long before the flight. I stopped explaining myself. The quiet returned, but this time it healed. I learned something simple. Commitment isn't trust without limits. It's choosing each other when choices are available. She chose differently. So did I. Months later, I ran into Rowan outside a cafe. He looked surprised, then careful. He said he was sorry. I said it wasn't about him alone. He nodded, like he understood more than he admitted. I walked away lighter. Eliza emailed once, long, apologetic, explaining feelings, confusion, timing. I didn't respond. Closure isn't owed, it's chosen. I focused on work, running mornings, cooking dinners for one. I rebuilt routines she never noticed. Sometimes people don't cheat physically. They outsource intimacy and expect you to applaud their honesty. I won't. The ring went back to the jeweler. The refund paid for a solo trip, not to New York, but to the coast. I watched waves, felt small, then steady. I didn't hate her. I released the story where I had to accept less. If love requires silence, it's already gone. I kept my standards and my sleep. That felt like winning. Time did the rest, sanding the edges. I met people who showed up. No triangles, no auditions, just choice. When asked what happened, I say we wanted different things. That's true. I wanted to be chosen. The city never mattered. The friend never mattered. The line was simple, and I finally held it. Walking away wasn't punishment. It was alignment. I carry that forward. I don't negotiate basics. I don't confuse trust with tolerance. I loved deeply. I left cleanly. Both can be true. When the next door opened, I stepped through whole. That mattered most. And if someone asks why an engagement ended, I say a trip revealed priorities. Mine survived. That is enough. I keep moving, grounded, clear. I won't chase reassurance. I choose myself. Always. The lesson stays sharp, usable. Love should feel mutual, not monitored. If respect is optional, commitment is impossible. I carry that standard quietly. It filters everything. I don't fear flights anymore. I fear settling. That shift changed my life. I wake up lighter, deliberate, awake. The right choice often sounds calm. I listened. I chose myself, finally. That decision keeps paying interest, daily. I trust the quiet now. It tells the truth without shouting. I follow it forward, unburdened, steady. The future feels open, honest, earned. I am ready for that life, chosen, mutual, clear, real, lasting, free.